Colors all around, but I don't see anything but blue. Get lost in the sound, go back to the start. Let's go out of the dark. Let's go out of the dark. Into the light now. all around, but I don't see anything but blue. Get lost in the sound, go back to the start. Let's go out of the dark. Let's go out of the dark. Into the light now.
Hello and welcome to our final day of the GEG regional qualifiers, where we are going to have the final region, which is women for Dota 2 Europe. I'm Atom and joining me is Natty. How are you doing today? And that's a dog. You have a dog in the background.
Yeah, he's very energetic. I was going to say, even if I am not excited, I do know I have someone in the room with me that is way too energetic. He hears the word Dota and he's like, please, can I sit on your lap? He sits on my lap when I'm streaming sometimes and playing Dota. So I do know that my puppy dog is excited, but I will say I am very, very pumped as well for the game that is coming up today for a number of reasons.
Oh, tell us some of these reasons. We need to know at least. Give me at least one.
I'm going to give you one right now. Sheepstick. That's it. That's all you guys need to know. This is why I'm probably the most excited. There's obviously, the fact that we are having women's regional tournament. Is another reason to get excited. We get to see some of the talent and skills coming out from women in Dota. But yeah, Sheepstick, I'm excited to see what she's going to be bringing to the table tonight.
Yep, Sheepstick is going to be one of the players for Great Britain, and they're going to go up against Team Hungary. So let's do a bit of a recap about what this tournament is about, or what this qualifier is about. So the GG is sponsored by the GEF, the Global Esports Federation. They are running multiple events. Actually, we have Dota 2 Open, Dota 2 for Women, PES, as well as Street Fighter 5. All of this we've done regionals for, and they'll all be done. The actual event will be done in Singapore on December 17th to December 19th. And next year we're going to have another country who's going to host it, which is Turkey, followed by Saudi Arabia. And we've already done all the other regions for Dota. We've done for Dota Open, we've done Singapore, we've had Mongolia, as well as Great Britain, and Brazil representing. Yesterday was the first day of women. What happened there, Natalie? Sorry, Natty.
No, you're fine. Look, I want to say on my perspective, some very interesting games of Dota, but we did see Mongolia end up taking the best of three in a 2-0. They just came in pretty dominant up against Sri Lanka, and it was just great to see the to and fro's. Game 2 was probably the closest game that we had happen. There were smokes going left and right, ganks everywhere, people dying when you feel like they shouldn't have been dying. It was very energetic, very high packed. So I loved it.
That is exciting because right now we just got a new patch and we are seeing, like we were saying yesterday, some of these teams we haven't really heard of before, so you don't know
Hmm.
what you're gonna get. It's like it's a nice
Yes.
gift and it's like a surprise. Oh my god, they're the best players you've ever seen. So it is very exciting to see that some players are just unknown before, and I think the game is about to start. That's actually one of the things about the Hungarian team is that we haven't heard of them
Mhm.
before. So it'll be a bit of a surprise to see if they can go up against Great Britain, who looks like a pretty stacked team.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few players on the Great Britain side that we don't know about either, and so we're not too sure, I guess, how who's going to be doing the shot calling between this
Hmm.
team, even though we know Sheepstick is quite infamous in the Dota world. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be taking the reins here. There are four other people playing with her. So
Hmm.
Great Britain is almost just as much of an unknown anomaly as Team Hungary.
And they are going to be, and Sheepsake is going to be playing mid in this matchup. So that's kind of scary if you're going to like the best player on the enemy on the other side. At least the highest ranked is the mid laner, and you're like, I gotta go 1-on-1 against that. I don't want to do that.
Do
But
you reckon that's just like the mental game already coming out? They're like, yeah, we'll put Sheepstick mid. We'll play the mental game. We'll see if they're gonna, be a little bit taken aback and shaken up by knowing that they're gonna be going 1-on-1 in the mid lane with her.
I think so. Like I'll be honest with you, I think that's something to be worried about. It's like if you're entering a tournament and the mid laner is nothing to say, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, you have to play mid. You're like, really, me? I have to play mid? Like I have to be the one to suffer? So I can
Yeah,
imagine that. Yeah, it's something to worry about. The bans
yeah.
came out. Sorry.
I was also going to say that we do have the two mid laners both drafting and captaining for the teams in this draft
Ooh.
phase.
Yeah, Tidehunter comes out for Team Hungary, and that's always a solid pick. Tidehunter
Mhm.
was, I think, the most picked hero during TI, or he like during the not the qualifiers, so the group stage. He was the most picked hero in the tournament because some people were saying like during TI, a lot of teams will sort of become a little bit more brawly than usual because you have a clash of regions,
Yeah.
and no matter what happens, there's going to be team fights. So one team might play like this pick off. Some other teams might play more of a split push. But in the end, everyone's going to team fight at some point. And Tidehunter is just a great hero to have in that situation. He can self-sustain in the lane. He can farm stacks in the jungle. He is hard to bring down, and he's just a good hero to have. So I like the opening pick by Hungary.
Yeah, you're so right. Tide Hunter, even though his positioning
Mm.
is very solid, he doesn't offer versatility in that way. He offers a lot of versatility to the team's synergy
Ooh.
and the composition that they want to go. But we do get Lion and AA, so the two supports coming out from Great Britain in the first phase, and Team Hungary are going to be picking up Tide Hunter and Snapfire.
Yeah, interesting that they're going with that. Team Green, that's a lot of damage on your supports. Just the AA blast plus the fingers is going to be enough to bring it down pretty much anybody. And but they are squishy. Like these two are very squishy. If
Yes.
they get caught by a ravage, couple of kisses from Mortimer, they're gonna die. Team Hungry go keeping up with that sort of tanky style with another strength hero. Snapfire is one of the best supports to have. Again, in this sort of team fight style that we talk about, and she pairs up great with the Tidehunter. Like Ravage, you can land 2 or 3 kisses on someone, move on to another
Mhm.
person. And the cookie also works really well with Tidehunter.
I was about to say, yeah, you add the cookie on top of that as well. You're almost enabling the Tide Hunter to get closer into a fight
Mm.
before he gets his blink. So the cookie just goes really well with Tide.
Another thing is, of course, all that minus armor. If you have the Gush
Hmm.
as well as you have the little Shredder, that's like minus 10 armor at level 1, both of these spells. So that's against the AA, it just shreds him.
Yeah, if you're a support, you're pretty worried. You already don't have a lot of armor or health. And then to see that this is what you're going to be going up against.
And Snapfire also usually starts with that Blightstone. So it's another minus 2 armor. It's like, all right, I think that Team Great Britain has to worry about picking any sort of melee carry because you're going to be subjected to that Gush and
Hmm.
little Shredder all the time. Of course, they could put the Snapfire top, but you already have like this really strong lane with these two right now.
Yeah, I think they're only really going to be moving the Snapfire around if they're sort of forced to pick something that they weren't really
Mm.
planning to. We do see Juggernaut, Void, and Medusa being banned from Hungary, with Great Britain banning Invoker and Weaver so far.
I like the Weaver ban by Great Britain because they might have they might have been like in the same sort of thought process we are. Like, yeah, Snapfire, Titan, maybe they're not going to be together. Who's another armor reduction hero that can be played as a position for, and that's Weaver. So I like that ban of that. But Hungary's drafts are bans are really good. Juggernaut definitely
Yeah.
doesn't care about Gush because he can spin away. Faceless Void can time walk away, and Medusa's a range hero. So they're banning heroes that are really good against this Tidehunter Snapfire lineup. So I'm really liking how Hungary's drafting so far.
Yeah, when I saw the Juggernaut ban come out, I almost felt for Great Britain because I feel like Juggernaut would have done quite well with their lineup. I mean, just thinking of all the slows and the stuns that can come out from the two supports they've picked, Jug would have paired very nicely with either of them.
But here is an interesting. All right, we got Centaur War Runner. We were kind of thinking like there's a lot of global presence from Great Britain with the AA Blast as well as the Stampede. That's a lot to be worried about.
Yeah, we talked about him yesterday, potentially coming out for one of the lineups. I don't really remember. I think we said it would have looked good on Sri Lanka. They ended up not picking it up, but we are treated to seeing it today. Look forward to it.
1 sec. I feel like the stream might have paused for me. Actually, it's still stuck at the Centaur pick. And
Okay, well, coming out is Warlock and Draw Ranger on the side of Team Hungary.
yeah, I see it now. Wow, Warlock! Like, look at the team fight from Hungary. I'm like, if these guys can all press R, they win a team fight. Like that, like that's all they have to do. Just everyone has press R, and that's it. And you look at Team Great Britain, they're not going to get any dispels. They might, like, you can't get a Legion Commander offlane. She's not going to because she's not. You already have the offlane Centaur Warner. You're not going to get another support because you have A and Lion. Those are your supports. So you have no dispels to remove the Fatal Bond, to remove the stuns from Tidehunter. They might consider like maybe picking Legion Commander mid or moving the A mid, but that feels awkward. What do they go with? They go with the Monkey King.
Okay, I like that. I think they are trying to go for a bit of a flex here. They don't want to be backed into too many corners, especially still with two more bands to come. But I want to touch on the fact that, like, sure, Team Hungary, all they have to do is press R and they can win. But the downside to that is you really have to move and make sure you're getting stuff out of pressing R, right? And you have to sort of play the game around the cooldowns of your ultimate. And that could be the potential downfall of Hungary. I know they do pick up the Draw Ranger as well, who's someone good for pickoffs, ganking as well. Just try to keep the numbers advantage on the side of Team Hungary. But yeah, I do worry a little bit that maybe too much is focused on all the ultimates being up at the same time.
For sure, and especially Centaur War Runner is one of the best heroes to have against these big ultimate lineups because he presses R and everyone just they're like, all right, everyone get out, just let everyone, let's go home. And that's one of the best things about Centaur. You might catch one or two people, but if the rest go out and you have to use all your ultimates just to kill like an AA, you'll be perfectly fine with that.
That's right. Imagine he ults and you can just run out of the Warlock Golem summon, or you're out of range for the Snapfire kisses. Oof.
And they are kind of combating that a little bit with Great Britain by taking the Monkey King with the Wukong, which also creates like this zone where like, oh, you use Ravage, sure, but we have the Circle of Death that you don't really want to fight in either. So Great Britain, another advantage that they have is easy stuns. You look at Hungary, the only easy stun they have is a cookie, which is not really always reliable. The other way to cancel a TP is a Golem or a Ravage. That is huge. Whereas you look at Great Britain, you got Centaur Stomp, you got Boundless Strike, you got two spells from Lion, you got easy ways to sort of just get pickoffs and go kill another person. Hungary doesn't have that.
It does remind me a little bit yesterday in game one. We said similar things about the stuns. And I mean, the core things that you want when you're building a team comp is that lockdown, those stuns, team fight, someone to frontline, and someone to be able to take buildings, right? That's sort of, and obviously damage, but that's a bit of goes without saying. And when you look at those four things that I just previously mentioned, I do worry, like you said, you have to almost commit an ult for one person to get a kill off. If they do TP out, or if maybe they do have a little bit more movement speed than you.
I do think that Hungary might consider something like a Storm Spirit or Dragon Knight. Someone, like right now with a Blink Dagger, Storm Spirit can just jump in and out. That might help them secure a few, like give them that stun, that easy mobility, that low cooldown ultimate. Not so much with the Dragon Knight, but definitely with the Storm Spirit. He has no downtime. Like you need a hero who has no downtime to bring the draft together, because in between ultimates, Hungary is pretty weak. Tidehunter, Snapfire, and Warlock without ultimates are not very impressive.
Who do you feel Like, who else do you think hero wise could be added to this lineup that doesn't make it too greedy?
For for Hungary, I mean, I think that the Ember Spirit would have been really good for them. They banned themselves, so
Yeah.
obviously they'll want it. But what are they gonna go with? They go, ooh, Death Prophet, very good. I like
Interesting.
it. I like it, but it's keeps up
It
with the big
doesn't.
ultimate.
Yeah, again, it's that ultimate timing, and it still doesn't have that lockdown. Sure, it has the silence, but it doesn't have that lockdown.
And I mean, it gives them the tower push, and she can also frontline a bit for her team.
Hmm.
But AA's ultimate is going to be a very big problem for Hungary, and they go with the sniper. Interesting last pick. I wonder if that's going to be the sheepstick sniper. So, oh my god,
It is. It is gonna be a sheepstick sniper.
oh, that's going to be so awkward. And I mean, I don't mean to harp on about this, but I think Candy is like Archon level, based on the medals that were shown, and you're up against
Hmm.
Sheepstick, who's like a 7K player. Uh, it's a bit scary. It's a tall order, you know. It's a tall order, but Death Prop is definitely a good hero to have in this situation because maybe if Sheepstick rotates or farms, she can take a tower, and that might be very helpful for her and her team.
Yeah, Sniper's a bit of a rough hero to come up against in the best
Mm.
of times, but I do have a lot of faith that Candy's going to be able to hold her ground and really bring it to in the mid lane. Obviously, only time will tell as we do jump into game number 1 between Hungary and Great Britain in this best of 3. Looking at the lineups, which team are you favored towards? I feel like talking draft wise, you might be a little bit more Great Britain leaning.
I think so. Team Hungary is just big ultimates, and they're up against a Centaur who's a great for disengaging. They're up against
Hmm.
a Sniper who's relatively hard to catch. Like you look at Hungary side, at least the Storm would have been able to jump on the Sniper. Of course, this is hindsight 2020. Like there's no guarantee that if they had picked Storm Spirit, the Sniper comes up, but you would have had that no cooldown, jumping in and out of hero who can catch the AA and the Lion. How do you catch them with this current lineup? You have to wait for Drow Ranger to get a blink or Titan to get a blink. It's just very difficult.
I
I
guess it's that
definitely
cookie, right? The cookie. That's the only sort of real stun that we didn't mention. You can't cookie your ally to stop someone, but even then, it's not always going to be 100% accurate, and it's definitely not reliable.
yeah, exactly. It's like that cookie better be a global cookie. You know, we gotta be able to really. It's gotta have to like have all the chili in it to send the hero flying over. But I don't know how they're gonna do that. Either way, definitely leaning towards Great Britain, but
Mhm.
Hungary, if they can do something with like if you can do something with your ultimates, that could be a big deal. Like they all show up to a lane with Death Prophet ultimate, they take it out and they go out. That's fine. It's tough for Hungary though.
Yeah, something I do want to bring up though is we saw Monkey King get flexed almost in every position when it came to TI, but
Mm.
it feels like a very long time since I have actually seen a position 1 Monkey King, especially in my pub games. Everyone was loving the pose 4, pose 3 Monkey King, but it's nice to kind of see him back where I feel like he belongs.
Same. I remember when I see a hero go from a support to a core, I always feel very awkward. I'm like, you don't belong here. You don't deserve this promotion. You know, like when we saw Keeper of the Light mid by Thunder, that was the
Oh,
weirdest one.
yeah.
Like he gets like 3 null talismans and he would just kill people and get a day gone. I'm like, that's it doesn't look right to me. It feels wrong.
My brain and just like the natural reaction is to not see those items on that hero.
I don't mind when it's the other way around though. When core heroes become played as support, like Tinker, when
Mhm.
he was 7.3 came out, he was played as a support a lot because people were like, you just get Blink Dagger and you max Laser and it's a lot of damage. I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Doesn't work the other way around. I don't know why.
We are going to see both teams pick up 2 bounties each. No contention or contesting or anything like that for those early bounties. Although Monkey King just going for a few smacks on the Snapfire. They're just trying to knock out some of the regen as early as you possibly can and put them on the back foot.
The problem with that though for the snap is that now she took Cookie level 1, which is not that useful of a spell, and you can see
Mm-mm.
Titan has Gush. So Titan wanted to do the Gush little shredder combo, but because Snapfire took the Cookie, suddenly that's not happening level 1. Monkey King is gonna have a much easier lane. So even though Monkey King got like the region, getting the region from the Snapfire is good, but the skill point's the big win for them.
Yeah, and she really did have to take that cookie there because I can guarantee you with that AA coming in, the Monkey King would have gotten a kill in the Snapfire.
Awkward though. It puts the top lane in a very awkward spot. But meanwhile, on bottom lane, it's going to be two range heroes, the Drow as well as the Warlock against Centaur and Lion. Centaur should kind of suffer a little bit. She'll be putting more points and of course return just because you're up against two range heroes, but she'll still suffer quite a bit, and you can see her HP already below half for Bell.
Yeah, it's just always going to look like that when it's a melee going into a ranged. But that Warlock going for... Do you feel like that's normal for the Warlock to go for the heal and just consistently use it on the enemies early? Or do you feel that could be a potential waste of mana?
No, it's fine. When the laning stage is all about making sure the enemy gets as little resources as possible. And one of the ways to do that is just make sure that they spend all their healing. So it's fine. And mid lane, Candy is real suffering against Sheep.
Sheep is just doing really well at this harass, sort of making sure that Candy's never in a good position. This is ranged against a range, and if that's going to be the case, then Sniper's always going to win out, I feel. Top lane there is a little bit of a brawl. It's not too much. The lower side of health is towards Hungary. Again, like we said, they're just going to be struggling up against this Monkey King and the AA with the slows.
Looks like Scatterblast was taking level 2 on the Snapfire, which is cool because anytime the Monkey King comes to hit you in the face, you can just Scatterblast him for the slow and maybe run away. But I'm still very surprised that means that you're not going to have 2 points in Little Shredder until level 4, or maybe they're just going to skip it entirely. It's a bit surprising, to be frank with you. Like, I did not think they'd take the lane that way.
If you're in Hungary's position, do you genuinely feel that you have the potential to be that aggressive, though? Like, maybe that's where they're thinking why they might skip it?
Like, you mean like a sort of mental factor where they're a bit more cautious?
Yeah.
I guess so, right? Like, that has to be it. But if you're playing against a sort of a better team, I think they expect you to be a little bit afraid. So if you respect them too much, they'll take advantage of it. So if I was a Hungary position, I would kind of think I'd go. I would imagine we'd go the other way around. You just be like, no, Little Shredder, gush him in the face, like spit on him, Tidehunter, and we'll go. But it's everyone's different, right?
Yeah. Candy is being chased down here. A lot more harassment coming out from the side of Sheepstick. And in fact, it is so much harassment. We are going to be looking at those last hits and denies with Sheep having 22 last hits, 13 denies, and Death Prophet still sitting at 7 last hits and 2 denies. So it has been a very, very, very rough mid lane for Candy.
Another thing is that poor Candy, the Spirit Cipher is such a bad spell in this matchup because there's no way you're ever going to catch the sniper. So it's like you might as well just you can't put points in stats because that's actually useless and you want to get Spirit Siphon later on, but man, it feels bad to take it. I'm taking a few hits, but overall, they're just Great Britain winning all 3 lanes. Like, they're just looking really strong. We talk about Centaur sort of suffering, but he's double the CS of the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, it just feels that the resource utilization from Centaur might be a little bit better maybe.
And Warlock is out of mana, so no more spamming on that Shadow Word. And all right, Snapfire has 1 point Little Shredder. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they can do with it. That might be a kill on the AA actually.
If this AA overextends anymore, I do feel that there is that potential. It is the battles of the century at the moment. Monkey King approaching Tidehunter, looking like she wants to take a fight, but might just end up focusing on the CS instead.
It is very strange to see how the two players have a very different idea of how they want the lane to go top with the Snap and the Tide. Tidehunter is even maxing out Gush, but Snapfire still took level 3 to get that Little Shredder. If she had gotten it level 1 and 3, that could have been a big deal. Not to harp on about it, but it kind of matters a lot when you see that.
Yeah, and that's just a little something. Oh, they are going to get the slow and the boundless strike onto the Tidehunter. Monkey King is chasing her down. Snapfire is going to throw out that cookie, and Tidehunter is going to make it out okay. But while we were looking at top lane, we do miss Sheepstick getting the first kill on Candy in mid lane.
That was the use of ultimate, and this is why you get worried if you play up against a TI winner. You gotta be careful if you're up against a TI player here.
Doesn't even matter if it was only a show match. But we are going to see a brawl take place in top lane as well. The balance strike is coming out. It's not going to be enough damage from the Monkey King. Tidehunter just escapes with a sliver of health.
And it is kind of brutal, actually. 6 minutes in, already 3k advantage for Great Britain, and they're bringing in the line as well. That if they get a kill on Candy right now, her game might just be over. Well, I mean, over for the next few minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are these itemizations? We are going to see Lion rotate mid, going to get that stun off. The Snapfire is also there to cookie out the Death Prophet. She's going to pop her ult. They're turning onto the Sniper. Death Prophet is going to end up going down, and they wanted to find some more. They wanted to be able to avenge her death, but Sniper's going to be able to escape and salve up underneath her tower.
Great Britain looking great, you know. They're like, that's why we want to go with our name. We're not gonna go with UK. We're called Great Britain for a reason. And Drawage, every time she hits the centaur, she's taking even more damage than he is with that 3 level in return. She's got the ring of protection. She's got a ring of health, so she's regenerating fast. And Drawage needs to be careful. Like, we can see Belle just dive on her if she wants to.
That's gonna be one of the hardest positions to be in. Is when you know that your potential lane opponent could just come under attack at any point. Ooh, Monkey King is looking to go on Tidehunter. A fight is looking to break out. Misses the Boundless Strike. The Cookie just misses the Monkey King for that stun. The Tidehunter is taking a lot of damage. Maybe 2 more hits from the Monkey King is all that's needed. The Centaur ult comes out to have the chase, and Monkey King is going to get that kill. So they turn to look for more on Snapfire. She is going to be stunned up from that AA, and Monkey King is going to get the last hit for another kill.
And they were able to kill the draw. By the way, I know we were thinking, wow, what teamwork! You know, using Stampede to get the kill on Tiger, but it's like, no, she was using Stampede to get a kill bottom. So
I did not even notice bot side that's what it would have been for. I was like, oh, maybe she was using it. In fact, while I'm talking, there is going to be another attempt, a stomp coming out onto the Warlock, and Warlock is going to end up going down as well. The rotation with Snapshot Fire isn't going to be quick enough.
And that's what happened, right? Like the Centaur was able to use that P to get a kill. It's like, oh, I on purpose did that.
Yes, I did it for the team, definitely.
You know, you play a lot of Spring Breaker as well? Do you ever just charge through a camp and get stacked, and you're like, yeah, I did that on purpose?
Yeah, like that timing. 100% on purpose. Didn't do it by accident at all.
And then Roshan bashes you on the way, and then you're like, oh well, that was just an accident. That just happens.
Monkey King took a lot of tower hits then. Just trying to get a little bit of harass on Tidehunter. Is going to get that Boundless Strike off. Only 1 more hit, but is taking not too much damage from the creep, but you don't really want to be fighting when there's a full creep wave right there.
And it is very scary to see because Great Britain is doubling the CS of, like, every course doubling the CS of their counterpart. You know, 67 to 31, 54 to 21, 54 to 25 is like, there is very scary for Team Hungary. But they are the, you know, ultimate based lineup. So if they can get their ultimates online, maybe they can take a team fight.
That's right. It's almost at this point where we want to start seeing them move as a 5-stack. On the side of Hungary. We want to see them all rotating together. No more of these feelings like you're going to get picked off, because that's probably what the last 2-3 kills have been.
Well, it's 10 minutes in, and we're going to have a Ravage available very soon. Looks like Candy's going top as well, and they brought the Snapfire, so they're like, all right, maybe we can get something here. Maybe we can take a tower. Can they catch the Monkey King, though? That would be a big target if they can.
Yeah, it's been a lot. They do know that the Boundless Strike is down, so if they are going to engage now is better than later. Especially as we see the AA could potentially be coming back to lane. Monkey King gets that tree dance off, is up there.
And it's kind of like, alright, well, everyone, let's just go back to farming. We didn't get him. There's no point. And is that Prophet? Oh, okay, she's 3-0 and 3. I thought she might be maxing out Spirit Siphon.
Nah, she does rotate. She does rotate mid. She has the help of Warlock there with the heal, which is really good. She kind of needs a little bit of hand holding right now just to get online, get some more farm up.
And Sniper has the Dragon Lance, and I think the Max take aim as well. And it's like, oh, we're never gonna catch sheep at this point. She's just gonna be hitting us from a mile away. That's the whole game from now on. Oh, but they might get the
That's not
centaur.
good.
Nope.
I think it's just more of a harass, try and get them out of that jungle. In fact, we are actually going to see all 5 of them here in the bottom jungle. They looked like they wanted to go on the center, but they ended up not. They want to turn back and maybe defend mid here.
Great Britain. Oh, well, that misses the stun on
Ooh,
Snoop.
the Ravage does come out. It is going to connect with Sniper and Lion, but it isn't going to be in a position for them to engage. The Quick comes out from the Tide Hunter. The Finger of Death gets the Tide Hunter kill. The ulti from center as well to try and get this engagement on. Lion stuns the DP up. Sniper ulti coming out and is going to be getting a kill on to Death Prophet.
And that's going to be the mid tower as well. Still no kisses, still no golem. So even though Ravage was used, they were able to catch Song as well as Sheepstick. There's nothing else there. There's no follow up.
Yeah, I do think that if they wanted to defend mid, they had to wait for them to either push up a bit more or they had to just really hard engage. They almost just waited and missed their window of opportunity.
Yeah,
And now we're going to see like tier 2 being pressured.
That was almost a Shiva Ravage. You know, that's what we had right there.
Did end up catching tiers in the back line, so you got
That's why it's almost. It's almost.
Almost.
Like,
It almost was, but it did catch it.
Well, Warlock is almost level 6 at least. Going to go for that arcane boots early on. Alright. Surprisingly, she's taking a level in the upheaval. Usually see either people max out the fail bond or the heal. You know, just take one or the other. Heal is not so great this game because A is just going to always land that ulti on someone. So
I would have loved to see the Fatal Bonds kind of getting maxed out. I feel Great Britain, not necessarily that they're all standing together, but I think there could have been some great Fatal Bonds. Sniper is looking to just run down Death Prophet here. I don't think there's anything more she can do as the Sniper ulti comes out and is going to be another kill onto Candy.
This is just bullying. Like, what do you say in this situation? It's like, oh, a Sheepstick is crushing it. No one's even close to her in terms of net worth on the Radiant side, and like the position for Lion is ahead of the enemy mid laner, and it's brutal. Like it is brutal. We said Great Britain there, players there, they just seem fast. They vastly outskill anything Hungary has right now.
I think they also had some pretty good laning matchups as well, and just with that laning phase, the resources we touched on it briefly, but they really just had better resource use is what I will say.
Yeah, especially the top lane, which we thought would go a bit more for them. They were up against a Monkey King with a Tide Hunter and Snap. It's like, should have gone more for their side. And Great Britain already taking the enemy's side of the enemy's forest. So it's like, where do you farm now if you're Hungary?
Yeah. What items are we also looking for on the side of Hungary to potentially get some pickoffs or get them back into this spot?
I want to say Blink Dagger on Tide Hunter would help, but then you look at his net worth and you're like, if she had the Blink Dagger, if she had the Blink Dagger, that would be all she had. Like, she wouldn't have any other item in the game. But it's still kind of maybe the best thing you can get. It's a Blink Dagger, a Tide Hunter with a few kisses, and you drop a Golem. That's like the best thing you can get. It's not much, but it's honest work, you know?
The 5 players from Hungary are top side. I think they are looking to get a kill, if not at least this tower. And Lion is all by him. He's lonesome underneath that tier 1. Is going to see 4 of the Hungary players and back off while Sniper rotates top. They are going to fortify. Death Prophet is being run down here. Is going to also fall to Sheepstick. And they do end up able to defend that tier 1 tower.
And like the damage, Sheep was just hit them with like what? 4 or 5 hits, and look at that.
She's gonna look for the Drone Ranger as well with that slow and all of the headshots. Drone Ranger's gonna fall.
0-11, 14k advantage for Great Britain, 15 minutes, and Sheepstick is just destroying this game. Like, I mean, she won mid by a lot, and it's what do you say? She was able to walk up to 5 heroes in Hungary and get 2 kills.
Yeah. I mean, Death Prophet being on the backside of that tier 1 did help Sheepstick get that first kill, and Drone Ranger maybe leaving just a little bit too late and getting caught in the shrapnel also really aided her in getting that double kill.
Tidehunter is going to go for that Blink Dagger, though. Doesn't have any other, like, she's got the Arcane Boots, and then she's just going straight up for the Blink Dagger. Still about 700 gold away, so it's going to be some time. And the Max Gush now looks kind of ineffective because you don't have Agams and there's Smoke Broken.
Oh no, Hungary did smoke up, but it ended up being popped instantly by Monkey King, giving them vision. That's going to be a 3-person golem by the Warlock. Oh, Monkey King is stunned with the tree coming down. The Ravage as well. The kisses coming out from Snapfire is going to get a kill on the Monkey King for the side of Hungary. They're looking for a little bit more, but there's nothing too much more to come from it. Finger of Death from Lion gets thrown out, but isn't able to take down Tidehunter.
A good win from Hungary, considering like it's a 1-for-1 trade, but when you're 15k behind, that is
Central Blink in, it gets the stop up on 2. The Lion follow-up stun, and all the damage coming out from Sniper is going to lead to Sheepstick getting another double kill.
As I was saying, absolute victory by Great Britain right there. When
sure, they lose that Monkey King, but they were able to turn that fight around amazingly.
That ward giving them so much vision right now. They knew where they were. And look at the dire warding. It's all on the Radiant side of the map. They don't have any wards on their side. They're like, I just want to know where they are so I can keep killing them. And it is
They
9-9.
they know that they've kind of pushed them into their half and now into their base, into their high ground. So there really isn't any need to have any wards on your side at this point if you are Great Britain.
By the way, Great Britain has a 99% chance of winning this game. Do you agree? We talked about this yesterday.
I'm not gonna say 99, but it is looking very in favor of Great Britain.
Alright, if it's not 99, what do you think it's gonna? What do you think is the percentage?
90. I think if Great Britain were to back off here and play a big passive game, it does allow Hungary a chance to come in.
Yeah, for sure, but I don't think that Great Britain is going to be doing that. Like, they're very clearly playing like right up to the enemy towers, trying to get as many objectives as they can. They already got. This is the last tier 2 standing, and you can just take the outpost, and you have snipers, so the sieging is incredible for your side.
Very true. You don't feel that high ground is going to be difficult to take with a sniper on your side. You feel that you could almost come up against anything. And you pointed out last time, having a melee on your team really helps because they break that high ground and get a little bit of vision, while you have a damaged ranged outputter like sniper just taking down towers left, right, and center.
Yep, and Centaur, of course, with that return working so well against towers. I miss the days when return illusions would damage towers. I know that only worked once.
Yeah.
With Alliance when they had the Shadow Demon, but I kind of wish that interaction stayed. Otherwise, like, that was such a fun interaction.
It might come back one day.
Absolutely broken. Like, to be fair, absolutely broken, but still fun. Is there any broken mechanic that you miss that you're like, I know that's not fair, but I still kind of miss it?
Not really. I think most broken ones I got punished very, very extremely in my ranked and unranked games, so I'm pretty happy to see almost all of them go.
I was watching the TI archives, and we mentioned like all the items that used to be in the game that got removed. There was Iron Talon. I am so glad Iron Talon's gone out of the game. I hated that item.
Yeah, it never really felt worth it too much. Hungary are smoking up. They're looking for a kill. It is going to be popped by the sniper. They get the silence, but the Yule's coming out from sniper. It means the golem is going to miss. Lion stunning up 3 of Hungary's heroes. Means that they're just going to have to disengage, and this is no longer a fight that they can take.
That was a lot of miscommunication. They actually got the Yules on the sniper.
Also, Death Prophet. Was that Death Prophet ult also coming out there?
And I think we might be losing Warlock here.
Oh, Warlock is definitely, that was a blink stomp from Centaur taking down the Warlock. Yeah, it was a DP ult popped. I saw her rotate bot to try and push the Monkey King away. Was successful, but that happens and you end up losing your Warlock.
The thing is, they got the Yules off on the sniper, and the cookie goes, but they turn around. So they doesn't even land the cookie, and then sniper just runs away thanks to Centaur Stampede. And 115. At this point, I'm just thinking, can Hungary get 2 kills?
I think so. There's a chance. I think that's not a 99%, you know? There's a 50-50 chance to get another kill. I mean, this is it. That's it. On the Lion.
That's what I get for being mean. You know? Like, there
the
you
Lion
go.
just oversteps there and takes one too many kisses to the face.
Did they do how much damage did they do that mid-tier 3 actually? I feel like Sniper was hitting the whole time, so imagine that it took a few hits, and that is a nice thing about having fatal bonds when you're up against a centaur, is because that guy is so tanky. He'll be reflecting a lot of damage to everyone else.
Yeah, that is very true. It almost feels like a blade mail for the rest of the team. Does that make sense? Like,
Yes, it does.
yeah. Okay, good. I was like, how else do I word this? This is the only way I can do it.
By the way, if anyone's watching, go Google the worst cheese on YouTube, and there's players like this is a professional match. Underlord, he got fatal bonds, 5-man fatal bonds. He was about to die. He uses the cheese, and he goes back to full life. But his team is already almost dead anyway. They keep beating on the Underlord, and there it was like a rampage for the Warlock. Just really
Oh, the blinking for the tide is going to cut down the tree. Monkey King is stunned up. He's going to go in for the pop his ult instead, but is going to end up falling without getting any kills. Although AA's there to get one on the Death Prophet. Blink in, stomp from Centaur, as well as the AA Blast takes down the Tide Hunter.
Always changing with a beautiful double kill there. Losing the Monkey King. Again, at this point, if you get a kill and you lose 2, it's still kind of okay. Just because you're so far behind that any kill you get is just worth it. And Monkey King is the second highest value. Can we see the fight recap? Might show us that, like, despite everything, Hungary still got more gold from that. Yeah, they did. They lost 2 people, and they still got more gold.
Downside is you don't have that numbers advantage. Although the death timers are still quite low, which means they're already back to a 5 on the side of Hungary, and it's going to be a 5v4 if they had engaged at that moment. It is now back to a 5v5.
And Hungary's draft showing a bit of weakness in this stage, where it's like, how do we jump on the sniper? How do we get to him? Oh, there you go.
Oh, Blink Ravage onto the sniper and the Centaur. The Centaur's going to go down, so is the sniper. That was an amazing engagement from the 2 on the back line. The figure of death is going to come out, and Warlock is going to die. Boundless Strike hits the Tide Hunter and also falls down. Line is being run and taken down by the Death Prophet, with Dro getting the kill on AA.
Hungary pressing R so well. Like that.
That was it.
That was it. That's what we were waiting for. A great blink by the Tide Hunter. I thought the sniper would, like, she would have a more shrapnel on the ground and prevent that, but just great blink right up there. And I think someone blinked next to the sniper. Right? I think it was like the line or someone just blinked.
Centaur, I think, tried to do it faster and tried to blink in and stomp the Tide to allow Sniper to run out, but in doing that ended up getting caught in that Ravage as well.
And until Great Britain gets a couple of BKBs on their heroes, that's going to remain a problem. Like, no matter what they do. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Centaur blinked in on the stomp. DP's going to use herself. Is still going to end up falling to... No, she's not. I lied. The Balance Strike comes out onto the Snapfire. DP does end up falling to the Monkey King, and Centaur being able to take down that Snapfire.
That was one of those. These are like one of those early calls where we have a premonition. She's gonna fall, not right now, but she will eventually.
She's gonna fall. Yeah. I was like, she's gonna fall, and then I was like, hold on, but no, she didn't end up falling anyway. Maybe just hung around a little bit too long. Keep an eye on those respawn timers of Great Britain.
And Sheepstick already adjusting to that, knowing that yes, I can be killed, so I might as well get BKB and just be unkillable. Like, you got Scott, you got Dragonlance, you have power chest. You might as well just get the BKB and be completely unkillable. Of course, there's another way, which is Aegis. That's also immortality.
Yeah, Roshan falls to Great Britain. Aegis going onto that sniper. They don't want to have another case of a Blink, Ravage, Golems, Silence, Cookie. It was everything going out at once, and I love to see it from the side of Hungary.
They don't have ultimates available for this fight. The only the Mortimer's Kisses, which they can use to delay, like they can clear out the creeps. But if you do that, Ravage up is in 5 seconds. Same thing with the Exorcism. So they will be. I think Warlock might have the longest cooldown of their spells, though.
Yeah, I think Warlock is the only one that will still be waiting if an engagement were to break out right now.
Should be around like 20-30 seconds, though. I don't think it's going to be that much longer. No?
Center is being silenced. So too much tier 3 falls in the middle lane for Hungary. Death Prophet looking like she wants to engage. I don't think it's going to be a hard one. Maybe just trying to get a little bit of harass off to make sure no racks are going to fall.
Does A have the shard? Can we click on A? No shard. Interesting. Gonna buy it after the 4-step. The shard would give them another way of preventing Blink Dagger from being used. You have a trap. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Blink Ravage, the golems go down 2 onto Sniper assigned as well. The Aegis isn't gonna get popped. Sniper was able to run out, take down Tide Hunter, going for Drone Ranger on the backline is also gonna fall. Same with Snapfire there, and that is going to be a team wipe on the side of Hungary with Warlock and Tide Hunter now buying back. She's looking very low. She still does have Aegis, so it doesn't matter if she goes down right now.
And it's like Hungary's like, oh, we can't really go and we use our buybacks, but our 2 damage dealers are actually still dead. We can actually do.
Aegis just gets popped on Sheepstick there after they take down the middle racks.
It just doesn't feel like it's going to make much of a difference, honestly. Like, I don't think she cares too much. She has her BKB coming on the way, and with that, you can. There's no ultimates on Hungary. They have no damage. So what are you even scared of if you pop the Aegis?
Yeah, that's the issue we talked about in the drafting phase, is you really have to play around your ultimates, and when you're behind, you just can't afford to sit around seeing another tier 3 fall. Cento is caught in the base of Hungary though. Not enough damage to come out from it to take him down, but is going to look to fall back. They aren't actually going to end up taking that top racks. I say that as Sniper is still sitting low ground hitting the racks though.
I mean, she stopped for a second, so she wasn't taking it that specific second that you said it, you know? It's like she's taking a break, it's like, now she's taking it.
Technically right, but yeah, they do end up taking the ranged racks top. Looking to take that melee racks as well. They aren't being pushed off just yet. Oh, it's actually going to end up turning, doing a lot of damage with Boundless Strike, taking down that Warlock. They're going to cookie their own teammate in. Blink Stomp from Center, takes down Tro, takes down Tide. Is going to take down Snapfire too. It's going to be another 4-man wipe on the side of Hungary for Great Britain, leaving only the Death Prophet still alive.
And what's she really gonna do? Remember, the rest of their team all used their buybacks earlier to come into the fight. I can believe the Snapfire and the Tidehunter, as well as the Warlock. So they're not responding for a while. That's gonna be a Rax in the meantime. Plus, they don't have their ultimates. So
yeah, no buybacks, no ultimates. Lost your top racks, lost your mid racks. You just fortify, and you know that you have no line of defense left.
it might be, this is like sort of the stage of the game where it's kind of over, but you might sit around and say, hey, all right, what are we doing next game? You know, like
talk tactics.
Yeah, right. Like you only have 10 minutes to talk about it, so you might as well get over with. Oh dear.
Oh, DP ult coming out. Dro just pretty much going to be popped on the backline. Dro looking for something. Center Stomp in. Is he going to be able to take that Dro out? She does end up getting stunned, and Monkey King's going to be taking that kill instead as they turn and look to just take the Ancient. And that's going to be game 1 going to the side of Great Britain.
Just a very clean game by Great Britain, going 7-33, winning the laning stage, winning every team fight after that. The only sort of mistake they had was getting caught by that Ravage, with the Mortis, because that was a great combo by Hungary. Hungary had a fantastic defense, but that was the only bright spot in the game. Everything else just went all for Great Britain's side, and that's something Team Hungary is gonna have to sit and think about. Like, what can we actually do to overcome Great Britain, who they're just so far ahead in terms of the player skill.
Yeah, laning stage was really rough for Hungary, but definitely a massive kudos to them to be seemingly so far behind and yet execute a team fight so well and end up taking down 4 from the side of Great Britain with quite a number of pick-offs along the way. So they definitely knew how to execute their lineup. It's just unfortunate that they fell behind in that laning phase.
And if you look at it, it comes down to a bunch of small mistakes here and there. We saw Warlock take Upheaval early on, kind of useless in this game where you're up against a Centaur anyway. So it's it doesn't matter. Upheaval literally does nothing for them either in the laning stage or later on. And same thing with the Snapfire, delaying Little Shredder until level 3 when you really need it early on with level 1. So these things cost Hungary a lot. Maybe in the next game that's something they can work on.
Yeah, I think there are a few draft things that can be changed there. But if you're hungry, you really just gotta say to yourself that you guys did amazingly to come back from so far behind, it felt like they were still always a little bit in the game, even if it never really looked that way on paper. They were able to get those fights, and I don't know, I'd still be pretty impressed if I was Team Hungary.
Yeah, like exactly. Like if with the performance they put up, it's something to be proud of because you're up against such a strong team.
Yeah.
All right. And anyway, we are going to go for a break. We're going to leave you guys with some messages about having healthier relationship with gaming, with some gaming wellness. And we'll see you guys in 10 minutes with Hungary against Great Britain, Game 2.
Get lost in the sound, go back to the start. anything but blue. Get lost in the sound, go back to the start. Let's go out of the dark. Let's go out of the dark. Get into the light now.
And we are back with the GEG. It took me a second to go there. We're back with GEG 2021. This is the regional, like the final day of the regional qualifiers for the women's division to go to Singapore. So I'm Atoma. This is Natty. Natty, game one seemed pretty one-sided, didn't it?
It did, and we talked about it briefly in the break, and there is that essence of it being a little bit down to draft. But you said ultimately it's kind of that skill gap, and you feel that maybe even with a bit of a drafting change, it might not look too good for the side of Hungary.
Excuse me, that was between. That was non-camera. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. That's my personal opinion. It's not my professional opinion. Professional opinion, you always have to say, well, we'll find out. I mean, it could go either way, right?
It's true, though. It could. There is the chance that they could sort of put Great Britain on heroes that they aren't comfortable on. There is that chance. But look, I do have to agree with you a little bit that either Hungary need to pull out something completely different, or we are going to see look, a skill gap. It's going to happen anywhere you are, and it is here present in this game. But I do think that Hungary do still have that chance with a little bit of a team comp change up. I think maybe not so heavily focused on those ultimates.
And by the way, there is a bit of a change happening already for Hungary's draft because the offlane now is an axe instead of a Tidehunter, which is very different. Axe is more of a feast or famine kind of hero. You know, he jumps on people, gets the Berserker's Call, and you Culling Blade one by one. You know, you just keep going from kill to kill to kill. Not like the Tidehunter, you know, it's just like a big ravage and kind of doesn't do much after that. Yes, you got the Gush and Anchor Smash, but very different tempo from the Axe, who is almost, you know, a very low downtime hero compared to the Tidehunter. Lich, a lot of team fight, maybe a bit better for them than the Snapfire. It took Snapfire a long time to get those to get that level 6 and get those Mortimer's Kisses up. So hopefully the Lich can help with that. And of course, Frost Shield with that 60% damage reduction against physical is useful to have. Great Britain though, starting with the AA, which was a problem for Team Hungary. That anti-heal is very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I am a little bit curious about the AA pick for Great Britain. You know, is that lineup something that really requires that AA? Do they place a high value on it? And maybe Hungary just got it before Great Britain did. But looking at the side of Hungary, I really like the Lich. I think in comparison, even to like a Warlock, there are a few more things that Lich can do early game that help set up the rest of the team that I think just wasn't really there between Snapfire and Warlock.
For sure. Another thing was that the Snapfire does rely like a lot on the team communication being just on point. You know, if you throw a cookie and someone turns around last second, that happened, by the way, when they had a Yules on Sheepstick and they cookie Candy, she turned around and the cookie just went like the opposite direction of where you wanted it. So that doesn't happen with Lich. You know, it's not like you throw a Chain Frost and it goes the opposite direction. It's like, no, I'm throwing a Chain Frost going where I want it to go. So I think that is going to help them out. It's a lot of slows. They do also have a nice, not exactly stun, but a way to stop teleports. And there's the Snapfire.
They're still going to want to place. Oh, we're both so excited for this. You and I are both such big Spirit Breaker fans. We haven't seen him played in any sort of tournament, I feel, in a very, very long time. So I'm so glad that we're going to see it today. The Breaker makes me very, very, very happy.
I like how we both were like, oh! And they're like, all right, there you go. That's how much big fans we are. And I mean, I'm glad to see the hero. It's nice to see Great Britain picking it because for the men, the Dota 2 Open, Great Britain had T Governor, who's a huge Spirit Breaker fan. And now it's just like the women's team is also honoring him with their Spirit Breaker pick. Like, there you go, T Governor. Your fellow country women are picking him. So
yeah, I really like it. I think it does add a lot to any lineup, right? And I feel like people just don't really value it as much as they should be. But on the side of Hungary, the Snapfire gets picked up. I do understand the sort of priority that they want to place on the Snapfire. Again, I do think it does add to their lineup, but I am a little bit worried considering how long we saw Snapfire take to get online last time.
By the way, it's a bit of a weird draft from Great Britain because we kind of know that Spirit Breaker might be a 4, A is a 5, but it's like Wind Ranger and Ember Spirit. This is going to be a 3 Wind Ranger, a carry Wind Ranger. Like there's a little bit of question marks coming out here on who's going to go where on Great Britain's side. Team Hungary, though, a little bit more obvious. 5 Lich, 4 Snap, 3 Axe, and the Mid Viper. So it's just a carry left for Hungary's side. But Great Britain, I'm kind of scratching my head on who's going to go where.
I really want to see Owen Ranger 3. Would be really cool to see come out here, do something very different, very unique, I think. If you feel comfortable at any point to do it, maybe this is when you're going to do it, because even if you lose this game, it is a best of 3, so you do have another game to come back. So yeah, I would like to see the Wind Ranger 3 here, and you're right, it is very possible.
But for Team Hungary, though, they believe that they'll need a carry for Great Britain. It could be the Spirit Breaker 3, which I kind of not sure how I feel about the hero being played in off lane. Generally, you want the off lane to sort of be in the lane, and Spirit Breaker is charging into the other lanes to help them out, and he's not really getting all the experience that she'll need. Another thing about Spirit Breaker is the hero's not as tanky as they seem. Like Bulldoze is great for reducing like duration of negative stats, but the hero's not that tanky. They can be brought down pretty easily. Not easily, but brought down.
I'll let you in on my little secret when I'm playing Spirit Breaker, is that it doesn't matter how tanky or not tanky you are. If you have someone with crazy damage output following you up, you just got to kill the other person before they kill you. That's all that matters. That's how they've got to play this. That's my faith in Great Britain of how they're going to play this one. Spirit Breaker, sure, maybe not that tanky, but if we've got enough damage following him up, then it doesn't matter.
And he does. I mean, she will have that Ember Spirit, will Remnant in from like any distance, especially if she has the Aghanims. Ancient Apparition ulti is also Spirit Breaker is great for saying that, because you get that global vision on the target, as well as the fact that she can keep someone there for a long time. By the way, tip for anyone who's watching: if you charge with Spirit Breaker from anywhere on the map on someone who's about to die, you will count. It counts as an assist, and you get gold for it. So
I did not know that. I was always so sad when you charge someone and then your teammates kill them before you get in there. I'm like, oh man. But now I don't have to be upset.
Yeah, I know that was a change that happened like a couple patches ago, because I was charging someone and they died. And I was like, oh, it was all the way in the fountain, of course. And then I got like 50 gold, and I was like, well, what the hell happened there? And I was like, nope, you do get assist if you just charge someone, they die. So that's not, and that's a good thing to have if you're on on Great Britain's side.
Yeah. Or now, just if anyone's going to be playing Breaker out there in their pubs, then you can argue back as to why he is such a good pick.
And Dawnbreaker.
Okay, that's got to go 3. That's definitely going to go 3, which means we're going to have that Wind Ranger carry.
Are you really? I was thinking he's going to be.
I would think so. Have you ever seen a Dawnbreaker Spirit Breaker offlane?
Oh, that would be crazy. I don't know. I feel like Dawnbreaker is going to be the carry though.
I've played it. I would love to see Dawnbreaker off, because I have actually played this with my duo in the off lane. I've played Spirit Breaker and he's played Dawnbreaker, and it has worked wonderfully. You can get that slow off with Dawn, and you can charge with Breaker, and Dawn can have that close gap with her hammer and then use her stun. So it's a chain CC, and then you can use your ult when you're Spirit Breaker. So it's essentially 2 people stunning someone for as long as they possibly need to.
Yeah, but if you're doing that, you're up against like a Lich, and possibly we'll see what Team Hungary is going to pick here. But like Liches, that's annoying if you're up against a Lich who can reduce all that physical damage that's coming, because that's most of the damage that Great Britain is going to have. Yes, you have a bunch of magical coming out from the Celestial Hammer as well as the Greater Bash, but a lot of it is going to be mostly physical.
That is also true, and I guess they're just maybe waiting to see what gets last pick, and they are able to swap those 2 heroes around.
Monkey King is not available, which would have helped them out. And it's like, you don't want to pick... I'm wondering, do you want to pick a melee hero like an Ursa who can sort of trade? And you again, up against 2 melee heroes, you can trade really well. And we don't have that guarantee that it's going to be the Dawnbreaker offlane. I kind of believe it's going to be the Dawnbreaker carry, and it's going to be offlane either the Spirit Breaker or the Wind Ranger.
Well, look, I also trust you, right? You are here to give me the Dota knowledge, me and everyone else out there watching, the 200 IQ Dota insight. So I believe you, but I would love to see the Dawnbreaker 3. The Dawnbreaker Spirit Breaker combo. The Breaker duo.
So it's about 100 IQ too high, but thank you. And Hungary is down to the last 10 seconds. What carry are they going to go here? And it's going to be okay. It's going to be the Luna.
Two things that I want to quickly say here is love Luna, but is it too slow paced to get online in comparison to Great Britain?
By the way, we're both wrong. It's going to be the carry Ember Spirit.
As if But Great Britain are just going to sit there and be like, oh, you want a 3? Oh, you want a 1? No, she's going to go pos 2 instead.
She's gonna do the Thompson method, where she just plays Dawnbreaker as a mid and just like carries the team against what was it, Quincy crew that they took Dawnbreaker 2 games in a row and he just won with it. So God, but yeah, if anyone's gonna pull it off, it's gonna be Sheepstick.
Yeah.
On the other side, for Team Hungary, they have the Axe sort of as their front line to catch people. I kind of like the Viper as well. You do not trigger Luminosity. You do not trigger Greater Bash if you are in the Nether Toxin, so that's nice. And Luna's just like, he doesn't have that gap close, but approaching her is difficult if Eclipse is on. So I kind of like Hungary's draft a little bit more this game than I did game 1, but Great Britain's still just so much better that I think they're just going to take it.
I just kind of look at the damage output and the early game potential for rotations ganks look really strong on the side of Great Britain. So even though overall I would have to agree with you that Hungary's lineup looks really good, I just think that early game favors Great Britain significantly.
Yeah, for sure. And that global impact, by the way, with that Dawnbreaker pick is even more. We have like charge from anywhere, Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast, and now you have the Solar Guardian popping out of nowhere. It's like you could be walking, happily in the jungle, and suddenly a cow comes out of nowhere, and a girl's throwing these bolts of lightning and light on you, and you're just like, all right, I'm dead anywhere. So Great Britain is.
Oh, I was just gonna say, only time is gonna tell just how that is going to play out as we do jump into game number 2 between Great Britain and Hungary. For those of you guys who are watching out there, let us know in chat which team you favor or which team you're hoping to see win this game number 2.
One nice thing for Hungary in this game is that you are going to be playing a Viper against a Dawnbreaker, and that's like a lot more favorable for you, unless they switch lanes, because I'm seeing the Wind Ranger mid and I'm seeing Sheepsticky go bottom, and it's like, well, that's a very different situation if it's going to be the Viper against the Wind Ranger.
That's true. Again, we talked about just how many different positions a lot of their cores could be in. It allows you to just change that up last minute to be like, oh, this is the matchup. No, it's not good. That's going to be really great if we do see that on the side of Great Britain sort of adapt.
Nice.
That was a nice ward deny there coming from Candy.
Yeah, it's like, all right, fine, you saw. And by the way, that ward deny should tell her that there is a ward on the other side, because there's no way they can have vision of that naturally. So she plans to sentry, she might be able to get a bit of gold there. So we'll see. But it is going to be that off lane. So you're right. It is an off lane Dawnbreaker. They fooled us. They fooled us. That's unfair. Now you get
to bait us.
Now you get to see the combo that you practice with your partner being played by actually good players.
By people who can actually play the game. This is going to be amazing. I mean, I have a very high success rate on it. I think I've only ever lost 1 game as that duo, and we've played it probably 15 odd times. Wow. So for me, it's got a high success rate. So I have full faith in Great Britain to execute this. We had the start of the game, 2 bounties going to each side. Spirit Breaker looking to just annoy and harass on the backlines that Lich behind the tier 1 down bot.
Interesting start for Lich taking the Frost Armor level 1 instead of the Frost Blast. Frost Blast like 7-second cooldown, does more damage. Frost Armor is like 30 seconds, does less damage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it does have
That's
that
a really big cooldown.
Yeah, and it does have that damage mitigation, which is nice, but if no one's hitting you, it doesn't really make a difference. You're just losing a bit of damage, but that's what Lich does. I mean, that's how they start for Foxy.
Yeah, we saw topside just briefly. And again, it's going to be pretty similar to the start of the last game, I feel, where it's just going to be trying to whittle down the other person's resources, right? That mana and health regen as much as possible.
Yeah, although if they could get Berserker's Call on like the axe on level 2, they get the cookie as well, and he's going to go for the... I forgot what's the name of that spell. What's the it's not Whirling Death, but something like that anyway. But
I'll believe you. You could have called it anything, and I would have said yes. Just
it's a counter helix. Thank you. You ever played the game for like 10 years, and you're like, wait, what the hell is the name of that spell? I forgot the name.
It's always like that. There's just one spell that I feel you can never remember, and another spell that you just use for every other spell in Dota.
So is there any spell you ever always forget? Like, is there any hero whose spells you tend to forget? I know like people have a problem with Oracle spells.
Yeah.
I think
Oracle and Coddle, like the actual names for the
oh,
yeah.
I just got it's just like it's the blast thing. It's and the other ones.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll always remember Chakra because of the video. Kotal, give me mana. That's the
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the classic. You can't forget that one.
Also true. Maybe I just need to watch more videos, ingrain them into my brain.
To be
Ember
fair,
Spirit is running down Snap here. I do believe she is going to be able to, she cookies herself out just with a little bit of HP, but does make it to that tower safe and sound.
an annoying thing for Hungary to deal with is that they don't really have a very reliable way of removing that flame guard. Battle Hunger doesn't do that much damage that can remove it by itself. And if you go for the Scatter Blast, that means you're not taking points in Little Shredder, which you kind of want to win the lane. So it's awkward either way, if you are on the Hungary side.
Yeah, you're going to sort of struggle with something. They do get that almost immediate D-ward on the side of Hungary.
But Candy is really doing well in the mid lane. Like the last game up against Sheepstick, she was struggling. This game, no, she's number one in terms of CS, and that's a big difference. Just winning one of your lanes gives Hungary so much more ammunition than they had in game one.
100%.
Oh,
I think Candy, okay. I thought there was going to be a charge come out from Spirit Breaker. It looked like maybe they wanted to engage while she was on their high ground, but they decided against it. But yeah, Candy's sitting on 23 CS. Last hits with 3 denies up against the Wind Ranger with 21 last hits and 3 denies. So they're close, but the fact that Candy is on more than 7 at this point is looking really, really good for the side of Hungary.
Spirit Breaker was charging, hoping to get the assist gold. And I'm like, all right, please get the kill so I can get an assist. I'm helping! But bottom lane, though, Luna is struggling, though. 10 CS only in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
Spirit
not
Breaker
much.
is going to charge on Luna. Is actually not going to be able to complete it. It's going to have that Sister Gaze come off from the ledge.
And
That's a
Dawnbreaker,
really good catch.
of course, being melee with the getting double the benefit from the Quelling Blade, no travel time against the Luna. She's obviously gonna have an advantage, but doubling CS, she has more denies than Luna has last hits, and that is a very scary thing to see.
Oh, wow. It's almost like one lane for Hungary really steps up, and the other one just feels like it's really struggling this game.
To be fair, all lanes were struggling last game, so one lane stepping up is still a very big improvement. Still much better than the previous game.
True. We did say that we liked Hungary's draft a lot. The stun. Okay. I was like, what's gonna happen here? Are they actually gonna engage? But it's just poking down. Spirit Breaker's just trying to body block that camp.
Oh, that's a nice stack over there. If that was one of those accidental stacks you get with Spirit Breaker, when you're just charging through, and it's like, I charge it at like 5:53, and then they start following you. You're like, all right, well, there it goes. That's my stack.
No, I think it was a little bit more of a deliberate stack. He's going to place a ward inside of the sentry, so that gets taken down immediately. AA looking quite low. And we're going to miss first blood, but Wind Ranger takes first blood against Viper in that mid lane. So Great Britain getting first blood both times in the mid lane.
But they were able to get a kill on the Spirit Breaker bottom lane, so at least Hungary hitting back. And they kind of need that kill just so that Luna has a little bit of space. If you can kill Spirit Breaker, suddenly the Lich can deal with the Dawnbreaker a little bit, and oh dear.
The close gap from the Dawnbreaker followed by the stun is looking really good. Spirit Breaker charging out onto the Luna. Luna is going to salve up though while she's safe under tower.
Interesting that she's taking 2 points in the glaives now. Sometimes I see people take another point in Luna's Blessing because the damage triples. It goes from 5 to 15, and that helps you and your ally. Whereas the glaive is kind of more useful once you're actually in the jungle jungling. So might be a bit
Could be
early.
looking for an early push, do you think?
Not really. I mean, if that's really wishful thinking, if that's what they're aiming for. But other than that, it's, I don't want to say it's a waste. It's just very unlikely it's going to come up and it's going to help you.
Snapfire yet again going and harassing the AA to try and chomp through her health, make her use a lot more resources up than she really needs to in that lane.
And that's one nice thing about having the Luna, though, is that she can just go and jungle. So, what was the carry for Hungary last game? I thought they didn't have that same option. It was Drow Ranger, So not as efficient as the Luna. Although there aren't any stacks anywhere for her to take.
No, yeah, Luna can transition into that if she feels she needs to, but I just don't think she's really going to personally.
It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, the 3 points in the Moonglaves. Very interesting to see. Sheepstick is level 6 though, so we can expect her to drop down on anyone and get a kill. And Viper, keeping up with CS, but a lot of the CS that Viper's gotten is from the jungle, which gives you just a little bit less than those lane creeps the juicy lane creeps that you want.
Yeah, I like the idea that as soon as a fight breaks out, which I think is going to happen top here, so they're cooking out the axe, and they are going to turn to the Ember. The Ember is still trying to go for the axe, but the axe is going to be able to escape, and in return, the Ember is actually going to end up falling down to the Viper. Windranger is rotated up from mid, and is going to be able to get that retaliation kill on Viper too.
Valkyrie kinda a little greedy, not taking any points in the ultimate. Like that's confidence right there. But either way, Hungary, they trade 1-for-1, getting the enemy carry for the mid laner. Something you'll almost always be happy with.
It was a definitely very, very Great Britain just overstepped a lot, is what I'm trying to say. You didn't have to go for that axe. The harass was more than enough to deter them for you to be able to have a more free lane. And you just didn't need to be that close to a tier 1 tower.
Bell is level 9 though in 8.5 minutes. That is crazy. And Sheepstick going to go for a kill.
Spirit Breaker going for the charge on the Lich. The Hammer to come out to close the gap. Sheepstick trying to run down the Lich here. She is going to be able to get the stun off. It actually ends up missing the Hammer. And the Sinister Gaze and the Lucid Beam coming out from the Lich and the Luna. It ends up resulting in potentially the Spirit Breaker not going down as Dawnbreaker is going to throw out her ult. Luna is chasing down the Spirit Breaker. Breaks away, charges away. They do both get out the Spirit Breaker and the Dawnbreaker with very little health left. Again, I think overstepping didn't need to be a fight under a tier 1 tower.
What's more surprising is I think is that Hungary, no one wanted to teleport bottom. So like that's a long dive. That's one of those dives that if it was in a pub, that people would be pinging. You'd see
they'd be like rotate.
Like, just show up anyone. But overall, Great Britain did end up using the ultimate with the Dawnbreaker ultimate, which means that for a couple minutes you don't have that ult candy.
Yeah, Windranger is just going in on the Viper here. It does get that stun off too and gets a solo kill onto the Viper. Lich rotates, gets the Sinister Gaze. But nothing more is going to come from that. Dawnbreaker comes down in mid as well. Maybe looking for that Lich, thinking that, oh, this Lich is all by themselves. We can try and get another pick off, but unsuccessful. Aren't going to find that Lich, instead turn to just take this tier 1. Looking to take this tier 1.
Surprisingly, the Viper didn't consider using the Viper Strike because that might have slowed Windranger enough that you can actually run away. But it's fine either way. Net worth, it's coming. It's looking better than Game 1 is what I want to say. Like at this point, I think Great Britain was like 6k ahead. This time they're only 2k ahead. Hungary just pretty well, but they are still a little bit behind. And you can see the win probability is 70% for Great Britain. Hungary. What's he going to go? He's going to go for the Blink Dagger. Does have the Vanguard, so at least he can frontline for his team, but needs the ultimates on the Lich as well as the Snapfire. You have those ultimates, you can do a lot. Look at those stacks.
I was going to say, that is a fat stack. That's amazing. You are loving life if you are that Ember Spirit. That's awesome. They do take tier 1 in mid as well. Hungary's tower falling to Great Britain.
Luna's like, after if they watch the replay, Luna will be like, why can't anyone stack for me like that? Why do they love?
I think that is the biggest difference between the two, is Luna not having any of those stacks available.
Yeah, and that's why she's like the lowest in terms of net worth. Where you see like Ember after she's done with those stacks, Valkyrie will be number 1, and there you go. And that was like half. That was the stack number 1. There's still stack number 2 to go with.
She's getting low. I just love it if just one person came in, the Luna, just like a Lucid Beam, come down and take down the Ember. She's looking very, very low.
One of the things that Hungary is doing is that you can feel like they're a little bit afraid, so they're all clumping up together. But what that ends up doing is that for like the Snapfire, she just turned level 5. She's not going to get her ultimate for a while. She's 12 minutes in. Same thing with the Lich. And the Lich actually might be dead here. Can I look at Lich? Oh, Spirit Breaker does have the ultimate herself though.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Sinister Gaze. It isn't going to result in a kill, but it does result in a large chunk of health. That is also going to be, I think, Luna's ultimate used in an attempt to try and save herself there, but the Dawnbreaker does get that kill off before her ultimate can do anything.
Unfortunately, also Luna's ultimate, like, sure, Lucent Beam is only level 1, and Foxy.
Oh, Wind Ranger just ran down that lich. There was no escaping for that poor lich. It's just pickups left and right for the side of Great Britain.
Again, at the very least, they do have Snapfire is level 6, so if you can get a good Axe Blink call, you can have a lot of damage to follow up with. And we've seen that happen in the previous game. We saw a great Ravage that allowed Hungary to hold their base. So it can happen again.
Yeah, it definitely can. But side seems to be the side that Hungary want to protect. There are 3 of them down there. They thought maybe there could have been a potential for that Dawnbreaker, but Great Britain have fully backed off and are in their half of the map.
I just realized Bell is a level 25 Wind Ranger player. That's pretty impressive. That's a Grandmaster.
Oh, she can play it anyway. Oh, Spirit Breaker charge onto the Luna. The follow-up hammer from Dawnbreaker and the AA blast for good measures is going to ensure the Luna goes down. They're looking for more. They are chasing this Lich. I don't think they're going to have the close gap for the Lich. I'm just joking. They definitely do, and they are going to end up getting another kill. Sheepstick getting a double kill.
I like how the Observer didn't want to show us, was like leaving us in a cliffhanger. Like, will Lich survive? Like, nah, they got him.
Find out on the next episode.
But Axe is in trouble as well.
Axe is just going to get run down by the Spirit Breaker. The Wind Ranger, oh no, were they going to give it to someone else? Doesn't matter because Wind Ranger does turn back and is able to get that kill with the help of Dawnbreaker's ult.
Sheepstick, even though they got this skill, she was trying to be very efficient. She landed, she was like, oh, I want to go back to farming as soon as I can. Throws the hammer the other direction. Then she realizes, oh wait, we might not actually kill Axe. I may have missed
wait, the Axe hasn't actually fallen yet. And then Belgium is like, oh, okay, turns and ends up getting that kill.
Either way, it is 7k head for Great Britain. Hungary, that's a stack. There you go.
Bell walked up high ground to the 3 of the Hungry players. Is going to get a Sinister Gaze up with the Lich. The Spirit Breaker is running in, charges at the Snapfire, gets his ult off. The AA Plus isn't going to end up hitting, and Snapfire is still going to get chased down by Wind Ranger. No, she ends up living with Wind Ranger just being too scared to dive that far down in past the tier 2.
What a play by Snapfire. That was pretty impressive.
The jukes in the trees.
I know that was really well done, you being able to survive that situation. But your Luna is still lowest net worth of all the cores, barely ahead of the enemy Spirit Breaker, almost doubled by the Ember Spirit, and it's a tough situation to be in for Hungary side. You really need the Axe to start making space. It has to be Axe and the Viper teaming up together. You do have your ultimates on the supports. Took them 15 minutes, but you have them. That's what matters. So, Blink Dagger still 600 gold away though. Oh, there might be something though.
Oh, I don't think they're going to actually look to engage here. Hungary, I have noticed, maybe don't do a lot of initiation. Unless it's very planned, like that Tide Hunter and all the ultimate setups that we saw in game number 1. So I don't really see them doing much more than maybe just trying to poke it down. I say that as Wind Ranger is going to end up engaging on the Axe, the AA Blast as well.
Oh.
Axe didn't stand a chance. Those kisses come out, and it's still just nowhere near enough to deter Great Britain from getting that kill.
I like how Bell was just able to sidestep all of the kisses and still land the kill. That was at Grandmaster level on the Wind Ranger. Do you have any? What's your highest level on which hero?
I would not know off the top of my head, but it would have to be either Witch Doctor or CM, I think.
Oh, cool. I also feel like I'm glad they gave Witch Doctor a nice buff to the shard.
Oh gosh, yes.
It was like 200 mana, 70-second cooldown. I was like, that's so long. That's like what, 100 mana, 40 seconds. It's a lot more. It's a lot better.
Yeah, he's so good to play. I've absolutely had a blast playing him recently.
Well, there's going to be a pause here while Great Britain sort of decides how fast they want to push the game. Hungary, I guess it's going to come down to the Axe Blink call. Like that's all they're waiting for. Because no one else is making moves. You look at Viper. She does have the Dragon Lance. I don't know if she's going to go for Force Staff next. No Magic Wand. That's kind of interesting. You can Magic Wand's kind of like the best item in the game for. Then again, you look at Great Britain side; they also have skipped Magic Wand on 2 people, but kind of I feel like you kind of need it if you're Candy.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to think maybe the bottle is all she really needed to come out of that laning phase. But what other items are we looking for on the side of Hungary? Where are those item power spikes going to be coming?
I mean, they do have the Mask of Madness for the Luna, but that's really more of a farming item than anything else. If you
Hmm.
could have gotten a Atos on the Viper, that would help, just because you can lock down the Ember
Yeah.
Spirit, you can lock down the Spirit Breaker, you can lock down the Wind Ranger. Like even Dawnbreaker in the middle of her combo, you can stop her. So an Atos on the Viper would have been pretty good, but you also need someone to frontline. I think it's just going to come down to one thing and one thing only. It's going to be the Blink Dagger on the Axe or bust. Because if Axe
Yeah.
can fight, he sets up everything else. He gets a good call. That's Nether Toxin. That's Chain Frost. That's Mortimer's Kiss. He doesn't. I'm sorry, she doesn't, and then there's nothing. There's no value there.
Very true. As much as it would be nice for that Rod of Atos on Viper, it's just not going to be as impactful as if Axe gets their Blink Dagger. They do
Fine,
smoke up on the side of Hungary, looking for something. They're going to go high ground, and they're going to end up running into 2 Dawnbreaker illusions. They're going to know because they still end up using the taunt. I'm not too sure if they knew that that was an illusion. I think they did. Did they? Maybe they did know that was an illusion.
I don't think they did because they used Viper's ultimate.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did. Man.
Great Britain are also smoked up, hoping to get the back end of
Oh,
this
there you
failed
go.
smoke. The call from the Axis straight onto the AA and the Ember Spirit. The AA is going to go down. The chains are going to bounce between the Ember Spirit and the Dawnbreaker. Ember Spirit falls down as well. Axe, unfortunately, still going to go down with Snapfire, Lich, and Luna falling on the back lines that we were unable to see.
The Axe call was fantastic. I think
That was great.
I think Kiss is maybe like the best player on Hungary's side because last game she got a great Ravage with the Blink Dagger. This game she was able to get a 2-man Blink Call as well as kills on Ember Spirit. Like if you're Axe and you get a Blink Call on Ember Spirit without Blink Dagger, you're doing something pretty amazing. You know?
Definitely. Like, even sure Great Britain was smoked up and they popped that smoke, she got that call, and that was really good. I honestly thought that fight was looking a little bit better for Hungary from what I could see, but unfortunately there was just stuff going on in the back line that we didn't see, and so they ended up having 4 of their heroes fall.
Sheepsticky is going to go for the early BKB, kind of having PTSD from the last match, being like, oh man, alright, I didn't have Blink Dagger, I didn't have BKB when I went high ground, it cost me, not this time. And Axe almost has the Blink Dagger, Kiss actually has it right now. This could be a good time for them to smoke. Good Kiss, a good Chain Frost coming out from the Lich, by the way, just now. Really did a
Yeah, the
lot of
Chain
damage.
Frost was really, really good. So I'm glad that now that Axe has gotten that blink, they're willing to smoke up and they're looking to really take more. They know that they have a chance. They know that there is a potential with a really good call that they can take more. I have full faith in Hungary getting a
Axe?
successful smoke here. Axe is
There you
hunting.
go.
It's going to be a blink call onto the Dawnbreaker. Gonna get stunned by the Wind Ranger. The Mortimer Kiss is coming out onto the Dawnbreaker. She ults. She Sister Gazes to cancel that ult. It's going to end up taking down that Dawnbreaker. The AA Blast doesn't hit. That was a great cookie from Snapfire to pull Axe from that AA ult.
And that was the best kill they could have gotten as well on the Dawnbreaker. And during this whole time, Luna's farming. Not as fast as you'd like because, again, there are no stacks, but at least Luna is getting some farm. And Great Britain, they have a huge advantage. And it feels like they're really not pushing the game pace that much. They're kind of content to farm. Valkyrie's going to go, has a Battle Fury, has a crit. And Hungary is taking advantage of that. They're using Kiss to her full potential with that Blink Dagger. Great catch just now.
Let's say we do see a little bit more of a passive game. Who wins out in the long run?
I mean, I want to say Hungary's draft just because Luna scales, I think, best out of all the
Yeah.
cores in this game. Axe is also really good in the late game just because Berserker's Call goes through BKB. Like, that's an insane thing. Oh, sheep.
She is running down this Lich. Lich does Glimmer Cape up. Blink call from the Axe onto the Wind Ranger. The slow and the AA ult coming out, hitting the Axe as Dawnbreaker takes down the Lich in the back lines. Spirit Breaker charging onto the Snapfire is going to result in a double kill for Sheepstick. And on the back line, we had Wind Ranger taking out Viper.
And that's kind of the problem, right? They show when everyone shows up, Luna is still farming, and like she's not catching up. The gap isn't closing. It's 4,000 still between her and the Ember Spirit, because even though she's farming, she has much less of the map to use as farm, and she has less towers on her side. So if it goes ultra late game, yeah, I do believe the Luna will outscale, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see it going that late.
Look, sure, the fight didn't necessarily go in Hungary's favor, but it was good to see that they were able to get.
I'm trying to. I like how you're trying to spin. She's like, "Look, man, look."
Oh, well, look, the smoke was really good, and that was with 4, right? Like, you keep bringing up that Luna isn't farming, and I think that is one thing that Hungary can keep holding on to, is you're at a numbers disadvantage a lot of the time, even when you are getting those smokes, those blink calls off. Sure, you're at a numbers disadvantage, but that's great if you can get just 1 kill.
Yeah, true. Like if they can actually jump on the AA, that would be great. Like just take the AA out because the ultimate from the AA is so annoying to deal with, and they might be getting ready to smoke up here on the Hungary side. They're all in the base, and Luna
is gonna get caught out at that tier 2 tower on the top side. That is so unfortunate, but Hungary have played as a 4 versus 5 before. They're not gonna look to do it now. They're just gonna sit in their high ground at the moment.
And Luna sets the back a bit. They are going to get some blade mails on their heroes, which are really good to have against the Wind Ranger. Now it's not as good as it used to, because you can actually stop auto attacking. But still, it's a very nice thing to have against the Wind Ranger, even against some of the damage coming out from AA. Oh, here we go, smoke.
Yeah, Hungary are smoking up again. I just talked about that. They have been able to do it with 4 before. They're going to push up into the high ground of that triangle. They're going to get smoke broken by Spirit Breaker. Wind Ranger gets that stun off. The charge on to the list means that he does not stand a chance. Pop Spirit Breaker's ult onto the Viper is going to bring him down as well.
And also that Spirit Breaker's got the Aghanim shot upgrade, so he breaks the Viper every time. You don't have to worry about being slowed or damaged if you hit him. He's broken anyway. Sorry, she's broken anyway. Well, then they are gonna go for the tier 3 here. They don't have an Aegis, and if Axe can get a good call, you can actually pull them back into your tier 4s. Maybe get a kill that way. Axe, thinking about it.
I still think that Hungary might be a little too on the back foot at doing that, because they were a 3v5. Sure, you get this blink call off and you might be able to pull them back, but if it's not on the Wind Ranger, not on the Dawn, or not on the Spirit Breaker, it's very easy for you to get stunned up. You know what I mean? So I get the hesitation towards it.
And another thing is that the Dawnbreaker's ultimate does heal whoever you catch. So if you're not able to burst them down within like 3 seconds, she's gonna show up and she's gonna be angry. You know, she'll be like, "I got a hammer. Who do I kill?"
Yeah. He's like swinging that big hammer around. It's like, I will kill anyone that gets in my way.
She always reminds me of the Incredible Hulk, the woman, the She-Hulk. So I was like, Incredible Hulk woman. Which one is She-Hulk? What's her name? She's not Betty. I don't know. Anyway, she's Bruce Banner's like cousin. She looks just like that. She's just this big, like very beefy, muscular woman, like the Dawnbreaker. Like I always think of her. I think of when I see Dawnbreaker.
I love that.
Showing off my knowledge of Marvel comics. I'm like, there you go. A little bit of trivia there.
I'm intrigued to see if we are going to see another smoke from Hungary. They are all there on the high ground. They're mid-high ground. I know they're trying to just defend it, but I think if you're going to do something, it's going to be another smoke play. And it's going to be. Hungary do end up smoking.
Do you believe Spirit Breaker is going to get that Meteor Hammer? She's actually queuing it up, and I'm like, oh, okay, interesting.
Please no.
Oh, they just broke 2 smokes. Okay, they broke 2 smokes. But yeah, she is queuing up the Meteor Hammer on the Spirit Breaker. I believe the max stun on the charge is 2.4. It takes like 3 seconds for the Meteor Hammer to land, so you shouldn't be able to get it most of the time.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if she does end up going for it, but while we were talking, Roche ends up falling for Great Britain, and Ember Spirit ends up taking that Aegis.
Valkyrie feeling very strong. Does have those remnants available now in case someone jumps on her, not like last time. But if you go up, do they have anyone? Do they have Deso? That's one thing that Hungary does has as an advantage is they're a lot better defending high ground than they were in game one. You know, you have the Lich, Frost Shield, you have Nether Toxin coming out. Even Snapfire can throw kisses if she wants to. I mean, it's a bit of a big investment to defend, but it's that we're losing Rax, so it is better. And Great Britain doesn't have as good siegers. They don't have the sniper. Oh dear.
Oh, the BKB is popped. Wind Ranger running in the back line, targeting that Viper. Also pops the Blade Mail, goes to Invis, is going to end up falling. The AA ult connects onto 3. Is going to be able to take out the Axe and the Snapfire with the Wind Ranger cleaning up the kill on Luna.
4
Dawnbreaker
people.
ult coming in just a little bit later. And we have the Viper, Axe, Snapfire, Lich buybacks. 4 of them are buying back on the side of Hungary. Everyone that was able to has bought back. Lich is leaving that almost a third of the health.
I'm almost surprised that when Candy's jumped on by the Wind Ranger, she doesn't just ulti and run away, because BKB or not BKB, you still slow them down so you could be able to run away. But Bell just always gets that full ultimate off, and that's kind of crazy.
Spirit Breaker is just charging straight in onto the Snapfire. Is it going to connect? Sinister Gaze coming after the Lich to stop it.
I think Meteor Hammer is on the way for Spirit Breaker.
No, I don't
I'm
think
telling you, it's on the way. It's gonna show up. You know, she'll just stand there mooing, and then the meteor's gonna fall. It's like, there you go. There's your axes. There it is. There it is.
AA ult coming out. It is a massive fight. It's going to be going in the way of Great Britain. There's just not much more you can do against this Wind Ranger at the moment. She's just running up there.
I'm telling you, it's the Meteor Hammer on Spirit Breaker that got them the win.
Yeah, I reckon that's what it was.
She got the last thing. I'm helping. Oh dear.
Dawnbreaker's also got in there. I do believe she does have the Dawnbreaker shard now, yes. So when she has, when she's going for her stun, she has BKB immunity, the equivalent of BKB immunity, spell immunity. That's what I was looking for.
The Starbreaker shard. That's a really good shard, actually. Like, you're making sure you always get this. Because Dawnbreaker, if you stun her any time during her combo, just stops, and Meteor Hammer just lands right there. Snap.
Well, Snap is going to get rooted up, charged by Spirit Breaker, but doesn't know how to get taken down first. Viper's going to get charged by the Spirit Breaker, ends up going down to him as well. The Lich is finally respawned, and that's Luna and Lich, the 2 people left to defend the base of Hungary, while Great Britain have already taken the mid racks. They also end up taking the bottom racks.
And it is 32k advantage for Great Britain. I love the buyback timers on Hungary's side. You can see them right below the Luna. They're all at the same time. Like, they're all 5 minutes 40 seconds. They all they all got burst in 1 second. They all bought back at the same time. So
yeah, that was an insane AA ult coming out.
And this is the advantage of Great Britain. Oh dear.
Oh, that is Dawnbreaker just going straight in, pretty much 2 hitting the Lich in the back line.
And Great Britain, that's their advantage of the lineup. They have AA's Blast, they have Spirit Breaker, they have Dawnbreaker. There's like, these guys show up anywhere or can do a lot of damage anywhere on the map. And if you're Hungary, you know, there's a little slight lack of coordination that Great Britain's taking full advantage of, and they're just gonna go for the tier 4s now.
The Aegis is still there on Ember Spirit. So it's one of those things that they need to be able to take down the equivalent of 6 heroes in this last fight for Hungary. Dawnbreaker jumping in is going to get the stun on Lich, and Viper ends up taking it down. The Monument Kisses is coming out. Is it going to be enough? The AA blast in the backline on the Viper. The Dawn Ult coming down as well, and Ember Spirit just comes in as the janitor and cleans it up with a double kill. A triple kill, in fact. Getting that final kill on Luna. And that is Great Britain taking game number 2 and this best of series in a 2-0 sweep.
And it is, yeah, congratulations to Great Britain. They will be representing their region in Singapore, going like it is such a dominant performance. They are looking like the strongest of the women teams that we saw so far. I mean, what can you say with a performance like that? They didn't feel like they were trying a very serious, crazy draft. They just went with what they felt like playing. They switched roles with Sheepstick going off lane, Bell going to the mid lane. They just got they just crushed it.
They did. I really do like that Great Britain drafted to what was really good. Not necessarily 100% counters, but it just is something that really works for them. And they were able to swap those roles around to have the best matchups. I think that's something that is a trait that was really great to see here, and I loved seeing that Spirit Breaker Dawnbreaker combo.
Right, and the Spirit Breaker getting that Meteor Hammer at the last second, just to kind of like rub it in, like, all right, I just want to end this game. I want to take buildings. I'm just going to take the Meteor Hammer. Yeah, congratulations to Great Britain. They are the last team for the Dota 2 division. We had 4 games being played. We had played the Pro Evolution Soccer, Street Fighter 5, Dota 2 Open, Dota 2 for women. Dota 2 Open, we already have the 4 representatives, which are UK, Mongolia, Brazil, as well as Singapore. UK has T Governor playing, Mongolia has Little Gun, and Brazil had members from SG Esports as well as Hokori playing. Not sure who's playing for Singapore. That's on me. For the women's side, we saw Mongolia represent yesterday, and today UK looks like they're going to go ahead. Of the 2 teams, though, Nat, which do you think is better? Which do you think looks better, Mongolia or the UK?
Oh, it's not so much who I think looks better, because Mongolia had a great showing yesterday. They also were able to take their series in a 2-0. So it's not necessarily who I think looks better, but I just really like the drafting that comes out from Great Britain a lot more. And like we said, the flexibility and the versatility of them, it was showcased today, and I think it's definitely going to be showcased when they go up against Mongolia. So that's kind of where I'm leaning when it comes to those 2 teams, but only time will tell.
And of course, all 6 teams that we talked about will be going to Singapore on 17th December at the Sentosa Resort, where the women will be battling against each other. The Dota Open will be battling against each other to win the GEG tournament, the Global Esports Games. This year it's Singapore, next year it's Turkey, and the year after is going to be Saudi Arabia. So we're going very global with this tournament.
Yeah, 100%. That is in Singapore, the 17th to the 19th of December. I'm just so excited. December cannot come soon enough. It's like almost like a pre-Christmas to Christmas. That's how good these games are going to be.
Yeah, and of course, if you go to Sentosa Resort, make sure you shake hands with everyone. Kiss them on the cheek, right? That's what we should be doing at this time. I heard that everyone's like, that's what you should be doing. But yeah, stay safe. We're gonna call it for a day on behalf of me, on Natty, and as well as the production. Thank you all for watching. Congratulations to all the teams that won, and we'll be seeing you guys hopefully in Sentosa Resort, December 17th. See ya, and have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.